Hello everyone, welcome to the Comic Game Movie Show. My name's Deshaun, and today I am here to talk about the James Gunn Suicide Squad sort of featurette. It wasn't really a trailer, actually. It was more of a featurette and kind of showed some behind the scenes stuff and, you know, and a reveal. So it's really like a featurette and a reveal of all these characters, which I can't remember because there are a bunch of no-name DC characters that it's almost impossible to remember. Like the only ones I can remember off the top of my head was Bloodspot, Harley Quinn, King Shark, Boomerang's coming back, Amanda Waller's coming back, Polka Dot Man. Like that's about it. I mean, Rick Flag's coming back. That's really about it. All the other characters, I'm like, I got no fucking clue who those guys are. Apparently, the villain's been revealed to be Starro. You know, that giant starfish that fought the Justice League in the first ever Justice League comic, which is weird, but okay. And it's been confirmed to be in the vein of a 1970s war movie. Like, in terms of, like, because every comic book movie, generally speaking, has a genre. And in terms of a genre, it's supposed to be a 1970s war movie. Not literally takes place in the 1970s, just in case people are wondering. No, it's just framed like a 1970s war movie. The way that it feels like they're filming this is like, not the Bad Batch, but like it's like one of those weird war movies about ragtag group of people doing some dirty shit, and that's kind of what the Suicide Squad are, and they're the Dirty Dozen, and that's the kind of vibe they're going for. This is the Dirty Dozen with superheroes in this weird environment, and clearly, and like you saw a couple clips and stuff, you didn't really get to see a lot. John Cena's in this playing a character who's apparently a douchebag version of Captain America. Idris Elba's in this playing a character called Bloodspot. I've never really heard of Bloodspot, but you know, apparently he's got a long history with the Suicide Squad as well. Harley Quinn is returning in this movie, and you do not have to worry about her dying. So, I mean, I'm not saying that that's a big deal. I'm not guys gonna complain about that, but it is kind of funny in a movie called the Suicide Squad. The only character you're like, well, Harley Quinn's not gonna die, so who cares? But you know what I mean? Like, but to be fair, I'm excited for this movie. It's the second DC movie I'm excited for. The rest of them, but this I am, because it has James Gunn. The first Suicide Squad was a lame-ass, half-ass, poor-ass, I don't know how many other asses I can put, attempt to replicate Guardians of the Galaxy. The vibe, everything that they were doing was for them to try to profit off of the idea of Guardians of the Galaxy, which is the ideas of a bunch of misfits becoming a team with a bunch of pop culture music, comedy, and heart. And they did. Like, if you look at Suicide Squad, they really did only make it because they thought they can capitalize off the popularity of Guardians of the Galaxy, and they really were trying to replicate what James Gunn was doing. So it's only ironic that when they came out with another Suicide Squad, which is because, and honestly, the only reason the Suicide Squad got a sequel that James Gunn can even do is because it made so much, because regardless of it being a complete piece of shit, it made a lot of money. And Marvel stupidly let James Gunn go, because now he could go over there. But when Marvel let James Gunn go, they jumped on it, and now he's doing this, which I'm excited for, because if anyone can actually make this idea work, it would be the guy they were trying to rip off in the first place. So we shall see. It'd be like getting a bunch of players on a team that are similar to the players on another guy's team and be like, well, we could just do what that guy's doing, and it doesn't work, and then they fire you and hire that guy. You gotta go, well, maybe he can make it work. He did it once before, you know, and that's kind of the vibe with this. It's like they got the real guy in to do this project. Everyone looks like they're having fun. All the footage looks like fun. King Shark's about to eat a guy. Polka Dot Man stolen polka dots. Freaking, I mean, I don't know. Sean Gunn's playing a giant cat man. Again, he played Rocket Raccoon. Technically, he does the CGI movements for Rocket Raccoon, and he gives in dialogue to Bradley Cooper from time to time. But now he's in this as a cat man, and I'm 99% sure, it hasn't been confirmed, but we're pretty sure that Taika Waititi's voicing King Shark, who is definitely gonna die in this. And there are a couple people in this, like Pete Wentz is in this. I think his name's Wentz. Is it Pete Davis or Pete Wentz? The guy from Saturday Night Live. I always forget his name. I know his name's Pete. He's in this. Everyone's like, he's gonna die. Like, there are certain characters you're like, okay, I know certain characters are gonna die, and by the end of this movie, because James Gunn's really been pushing this idea that, like, don't get attached to anybody. So the vibe I'm getting is by the time this movie ends, there's only going to be like 3 characters still alive. One's Harley, duh, she's not going to die. And the other might be Idris Elba, maybe, but it's going to be like Harley and like one other person. And unlike the other Suicide Squad, they really seem like they're going to play up the aspect, because James Gunn kept repeatedly talking about it, that some of these people are irredeemable. Some of these people are so bad and they just can't be redeemed. And the idea that they're supposed to work together, and basically you're supposed to sort out who actually isn't as bad as the deeds they've done, and the people who are exactly who you think they are. And that's going to be exciting. Watching that movie, waiting to see the other shoe drop, waiting to see who is as bad as you think they are, and waiting to see who might not be as bad as you think they are. The guaranteed hero is going to be Harley. Harley's not going to be too bad. We just saw her in the movie. I'm figuring they might continue the continuity. But either way, DC's been trying to reform Harley to make her an anti-hero, even though she's pretty much a complete awful human being. But DC's been trying to, weasel that in there to make her an anti-hero for a while now. So I don't think they're going to push that. But it's pretty clear that John Cena's character and maybe a couple other characters are probably going to be bad. Are either going to die or be bad. I'm about 90% sure John Cena's character is going to be a complete dick who tries to murder someone. But either way, I do like that aspect of the movie that they're pushing, that the first one didn't push, is that there are genuinely bad guys here. They're not bullshitting to make it PG-13, because in the other one they made it PG-13 so they couldn't kill people. They were just killing these people with this thing on their heads. So it's not that in this. They're killing people. And according to one actor, genitals blow up at one point in this movie, so you know it's gonna get pretty fucking gory. I'm excited for The Suicide Squad, my bad. James Gunn's The Suicide Squad. I can't wait to see what it turns out to be. We'll just have to wait and see. Thank you guys for joining the Comic Game Movie Show. Please remember to like, subscribe. And are you excited for James Gunn's Suicide Squad? I definitely am. Hopefully he can pull this off and then come over to he can keep doing good work with the Guardians, because it's a lose-lose situation for me. No matter what happens to lose, either he pulls this off and he does fantastic, and now DC's like, come back and do more, and then he's like, I'm gonna do this movie with Marvel and go back, or it comes out terrible, DC's like, I hate you, I never want to work with you again, and everyone's looking at the Guardians 3 like, this is gonna be a piece of shit. So it's pretty much a lose-lose for me. Oh, well, it's a win-win, lose-lose. Either way, I'm going to get to see a good movie, except we're going to lose James Gunn, and he's never going to return back to the MCU again after Guardians. Or he's going to do terrible, come back to the MCU with his legs tucked between his legs, and MCU will welcome him back, but everyone's going to be like, well, you sucked at that, so you're probably going to suck at this too. And we'll see. Thank you guys for the Comic Game Movie Show. Please don't like, subscribe. See you in the next one.